Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury Interviews. Today we have Murray Bowers, and Murray is the Sales and Marketing Director for the Hilton Garden Inn Hotel in Sudbury. And that's the one directly behind the keg on the Kingsway. And we're going to be discussing his career today. Just before we begin, you can find us on Sudstown and join the conversation. Hey, Murray, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Danny. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure, my friend, and I'm happy that you said yes to this. I'm just trying to keep the wheels turning, and it's great to talk to you. So, can you give us a little bit of a history of how you became a sales director? Because that's a pretty big job, I would think.
Well, as long as we have about 30 minutes, I can probably easily fill that in with that first question. So originally from Toronto, both my wife and Joanne, worked in advertising and worked at Ogilvy and Mather advertising. I was number three in the world, and so that's where we met. And from there, I moved on to McCann Erickson on the kind of on the lakeshore, Queens Quay in Toronto. She stayed at Ogilvy, and we got married back in '89, and then we moved up to Sudbury in 1990. And so she carried on with the graphic design, had her own ad agency. Uh, I did a lot of freelance artwork, copywriting, but basically had kind of the uh, regular 9 to 5 kind of job. While when you're in advertising, it can be a roller coaster of when it comes to clients. So very busy in the winter months, spring, and then a little bit slower in the summer. So it's always nice to have that paycheck coming. Um, so on the sales director path, I when we first moved up to Sudbury, I actually took a big right turn and actually was a bricklayer for about 3 years. Uh, Took a course at Cambridge College, and basically after 6 months, I was in the union and working at Inco at the time, doing shutdowns and did a number of jobs around town. Bank of Montreal building downtown, Valley View, high school, a lot of residential. So did that for 3 years, and then in the winter months when my wife was busy and there was no bricklaying, I would be providing artwork and logo design, a lot of copywriting as well, proofreading, and so it was a good fit. She had her business for 25 plus years, and has kept a couple of clients here and there, but for the most part. So from that, uh, working the old slabbing the bricks and um, bricklaying, I moved on to. That's Ollie, by the way. Ollie says hi. Um,
Nice.
from there, I worked at Rainbow Country Travel Association. So that was an arm of the Ontario Tourism, and basically there's 12 area destinations throughout the province. So our area looked after Parry Sound, French River, Sudbury, and Manitoulin. And so my job was sales, and basically that was uh, the first real sales job where I'd be selling ads for our winter, summer books uh, to lodges, resorts, tour operators in general. And then in the uh, winter time, we do travel shows. So we take our magazines and tourism operator brochures down to a number of shows in the state. So Cleveland, Philadelphia, Detroit, Grand Rapids, mainly U.S. But then we do the Toronto Sportsman Show and the outdoor show by the airport as well. Um, so that was about 5 years, and from there, um, couple side notes. Created a bed and breakfast association, which uh, helped as a collective, anyways, for some smaller operators to work together, get some advertising and more visibility in the greater Sudbury market. And then uh, developed a tourism association for Sudbury. That was kind of pre-Sudbury tourism. So developed the whole constitution, um, a newsletter that came out on a monthly basis. So from there, I actually got hired by the city for the development corporation, and that was pre-amalgamation. And so worked on a number of projects like the Alert Tech fire hall up in Zilda. A little bit of music, film, and motion back in the day. The Onaping Falls Geological Tour. So it was a little bit of a move away from sales, but at the end of the day, you learn that everything we do in life, you're either promoting something or selling. So a really big part
Yeah.
of working at the development corporation was meeting a lot of business owners and working at the region of Sudbury to understanding how municipal politics and all the different departments kind of interacted within each other and with the community. So from there, I moved on to Northern Lights Festival Boreal
Wow.
and did that for 4 years as executive director.
Really?
And the
Wow.
first year would have been 2001. And I think we might have met at that time, or anyways, maybe it was a little bit further down the road. But that kind of tied into my earlier years in my teens and early 20s, where I played in a variety of different bands, top 40, even country, maybe a metal band for about a month. So it was a good tie-in to certainly a passion I had in my younger years of certainly promoting music and certainly working with the community, all the different arts and cultural groups, and certainly having past ties with the city that helped with a number of things like funding, obviously knowing how the different departments worked. So that was quite enjoyable. And from there, I was the campaign director at United Way for about 2 years. And that was raising funds for about 20 different organizations in the greater Sudbury area. Again, it was a huge networking opportunity. So you meet all the leaders in each industry, from business to the hospital, from industrial to mining. There was a great rapport where we developed matching dollars with Inco at the time. And I think we reached, at that time, it was the 1 million mark in an annual campaign fundraising. So that was a big milestone. So after United Way, I kind of wanted to get more into the private sector. And the first stop would have been Lavere, doing health and safety. So developing policies for companies to ensure they're up to standards with the Occupational Health and Safety Code for Ontario. So it also provided training. Obviously, a big part of it was selling, recruiting new businesses to develop their health and safety programs. We'd start off with doing audits. 99%, if not 100% of the companies would fail the audit because a lot of companies weren't aware of what their role and what their responsibility was when it came to health and safety. So it was a big learning curve for myself, but also for companies that were clients and that needed to develop that within their corporate structure. So a big learning curve there. Ollie says hi. He is excited about that one. Yeah. Now, I had a couple jaunts. I did some merchandising with Coca-Cola. Worked with Laurentian Business Products for printers, large format printers for like architects, some major clients from the hospital, industrial, mining companies as well. And so that was good. Worked for Sudbury Web Design, and that was developing, with my original earlier history in advertising. One thing that
Yeah.
was kind of missing was the new marketing of websites, social media, SEO, the whole gamut of the new technology and what that brought to advertising. So I did that for a couple of years, and from that, there were actually before that I worked at the Radisson Hotel
I
Convention
remember
Center.
that. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's when we kind of connected, and there's been so many positions you kind of lose track which one was before or after the other. So at the Radisson, big convention center, largest hotel in Sudbury, 148 rooms, if I do recall. Sales manager, and basically I worked with Mary Hicks Aldrich, who surprisingly works at the Hilton Garden Inn currently on a part-time basis. And she would have been the director of sales at the time, so I worked with Mary on the biggest thing is developing corporate clients. So you want to sign up companies with a preferred rate, which is very financially beneficial to set up a corporate rate because it's good throughout the year. And as many people probably know, is when you're booking hotels, the rates can fluctuate from day to day. And depending on the supply and demand, if it's really busy, the rates do go up. And on the flip side, when it's not as busy, the rates can get a little bit more inexpensive. So at the Radisson, again, a big convention center, some major events. Back in the day, there was a lot of Sudbury Arena events going on. So we had the likes of Seinfeld, Kiss, Motley Crue, Bryan Adams staying at the hotel. And that's kind of the fun part of working on the hotel, is kind of rubbing shoulders with artists. And sometimes there can be a lot of work and a lot of lead up towards the arrival. But very satisfying. The diversity of the clients that you meet is so wide ranging. And from day to day, it changes like the hands of a clock. There's always, there's never 2 days that are the same. So very exciting working at a hotel. I would have been there for about 4 years, and then from there I had moved over to the Sudbury Web Design, then Laurentia Business Products, and then from there I went to the Hilton Garden Inn. I had known Lisa Jones, who you interviewed a short while ago, and at that time she was the director of sales at the Town Place Suites. She had opened up that property, and I believe she was there for 10 years, and then was brought on to be the new GM, which is a huge undertaking to go from sales to operational
role
position as a general manager. So a huge move for her, definitely. And so through that, past experience, a big thing is networking. So knowing and working with Lisa on a number of projects, she certainly reached out to me. I was all over it. I love the hotel business. And at that time, it would have been 2019. I came on board in October, Thanksgiving. And at that time, I think there was about 3 floors. So it was a work in progress. And every time, we set an opening date. As construction goes, as a lot of people know, it doesn't always go to plan, especially when it comes to deadlines. So it kept on getting pushed back, and then wonderful COVID came down the pipeline. So that kind of delayed matters. We actually opened up in February of 2020, and but again, we went through a number of different opening dates. So we finally did open, and so it'll be 6 years already come this October. So when it comes to sales, I would have to say uh, anybody can do sales. Now, can you do it well? That's really up to the individual. But every work experience that you go through, and a big thing is the networking.
Networking.
Big rule of thumb: never burn bridges, because you never know who you're going to run into down the road, who you're going to need, uh, be it as a client or
Yeah.
whatever. It's something that networking is paramount when it comes to successful sales. You want to connect with as many people as you can, and really have a game plan going into what sectors are your target markets, and certainly identifying who you know and what positions they are in, because eventually you'll cross paths. And Sudbury is not a huge town by any means, bigger than some, but much smaller than some of the bigger urban centers. So everybody knows somebody, or that wonderful 2 to 3 degrees of separation
Hmm.
separates all of us. Um, so when it comes to different jobs, you take different experiences, a different knowledge. You're building your skill set to do what you do. And certainly in the sales side, the more effort you put in, I think the more success you're going to have moving forward. And like life itself, there's the easy path, or you know you make the choices where you want to go and work, and is it a good fit for you? And when you're working there, do you get along? Is it a good environment? Which plays a big role for a lot of people. And certainly having a great boss goes a long way as well. One that has empathy, and Lisa exudes empathy and caring. And I think that translates into the whole operation of that hotel. Um, for last year, we won the Hospitality Award. There's 2 Hilton Garden Inns in all of Canada, and it's based on guest scores. And then when Hilton comes up for the annual audit, it's also based on that, what your scores are. So we're basically the top 1% of Canada. There was about 5 or 6 from the States, and a few in the Southern Asia Pacific, and a couple in Europe. So great honor for the whole team. And you work hard. And so it's really nice to be recognized. We thought we'd get it sooner, right? Because we had great
Hmm.
scores, and financially the hotel was doing very exceptional in the first, ever since we opened. Um, so we had another audit done earlier this year, and it was even better than the 2014 one. So we're hoping that we can win that award again for this year.
Oh, that's
So here
great.
we are. So that's question number one.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of questions I want to ask you, but I'm going to have to limit it to
Okay,
let's talk
I'll
about
keep it short.
tourism for a minute. What does selling tourism involve? What are we selling?
Uh, well, it depends for the point of view of a hotel.
Yeah, yeah, or in general.
Well, tourism basically, and there's a wide collection of tourism. You can have sports tourism, so that's where you have organized sports, the whole gamut from hockey, soccer, um, ringette, um, any type of sport. There's great potential for sports tourism coming into the city. There's some pros and cons. There's always some issues with some teams, uh, but that's something that each hotel, we deal with. We do have a hotel association that we uh, address issues that we're all facing. But bus tours, another huge segment when it comes to Sudbury. the Agua Canyon in Sault Ste. Marie. So Sudbury, we're kind of a stop along the way. We're not the destination,
Right.
but I think last year we had about 14 bus tours coming into town, and it's just an overnight stay. Uh, they might come from either Toronto, Ottawa. Uh, Kind of Sudbury is a nice central point in northern Ontario. So they'll stop in Sudbury, go to the zoo, and sometimes a lot of times they'll come back as well. So we get 2 night stay on the way to and from that destination.
So we're winning.
Um, yeah, friends and family. That's our biggest tourism generator. So when people move away from Sudbury, either to go to school, they go to school, they set up roots in a city further away from Sudbury. So when the friends and family come to visit Sudbury, they may stay with friends, family, or they might stay at a hotel. So it's a big market, one of the highest ones in Sudbury, where we see business. The whole market does is the friends and family. They will go to Science North, to the attractions around town, and so that's a big segment. When it comes to tourism, the biggest attraction, surprising, is Costco. Um, Costco is the retail center for northeastern Ontario.
Wow. So you have a great
So
location at your hotel there, being across the street from that.
we have fantastic, and we have 4 hotels. So we have the Town Place, Fairfield, us, and Microtel, and the big box stores are definitely a huge draw for the city of Sudbury. Now, additionally, other segments, the film industry is quite huge. When a film comes to town, for our hotel, we'll usually have like the producers and the upper management, like producers, directors, um, and then and really because of budget, there'll be like smaller hotels. They'll pick up the crew where the rate will be a lot less expensive. So they kind of separate into different tiers of hotels. But that can generate certainly a lot of revenue, and it's always good to have it. And that can take place throughout the year. So that kind of spreads out. It's not really allocated to one particular season. So that can happen throughout the year. Tourism, corporate. Corporate is a huge one for us as well. So we'll have national accounts that'll do RFPs up with Hilton. Those are submitted, and the clients, we set the rate and different amenities that come along with that rate. And so usually it takes about a month, maybe 2 months to get awarded that. Then we also set up local negotiated rates with local companies around the greater Sudbury area. We get a fair number from Timmins as well as Toronto as well. So again, those are rates that are set for the year. So it's advantageous for that company to consistently know what they're going to pay for that rent, because again, there can be a high fluctuation on peak days throughout the work week. When it comes to business as well, the business traveler usually is a Monday through Friday, either arrive on a Sunday or a Monday, and then check out on a Friday. And then that's where the leisure market comes in, or the sports tourism as well. They arrive on a Friday, Saturday, and then depart on a Sunday. So it's a wide variety of different components that make up tourism. And last but not least, arts and culture. So depending on the different festivals, we're the host hotel for Cinefest. We have been since we've opened, and certainly with having Silver City right up the street, it's a perfect location for both parties. So that really works out well. And we've got a fantastic restaurant. We have some meeting space, so we do some other summit series, industry talks, that sort of thing. And yeah, so arts and culture certainly plays a role in tourism.
Wow.
You're welcome.
You are like a gold mine of information and expertise.
Well, but you know what? That it comes through years of experience and understanding the market and understanding the needs of your client. You know, being
Yeah.
able to listen is 90% of the job for sure.
So I'm going to ask you two more questions, Murray, and I'd like to just respectfully ask if we could keep them at about 2.5 minutes each because we're running out of time
Okay.
already. The first one is, you know, when people say the customer is always right, is that true in a nutshell version, or what does that mean?
Um, basically, when it comes to the service industry, hospitality industry, we do our best to look after our guests, to go above and beyond to make their stay fantastic. If there's any issues, we will go out of our way to make it right, and that's one of the slogans. Um, and the key is to listen to the client. And if a guest is very upset, it's a matter of de-escalating. You do not want to create more friction, right? Because everyone, you don't know what kind of day they had
Yeah.
previously. You know, they might have been sitting on the 400 on the way up to Sudbury in traffic jam or construction or an accident. So you never know um, how a person, what kind of day they've had. So in showing, certainly empathy is a big part of making it right for that customer, and doing your best to make sure that they're taken care of, like you would any. And we treat all our guests like that as well. Sometimes it's easier. Some take a little bit more work, but it's something that we do our best to look after our customers.
Yeah, you're in a good position, Marie, because you have a lot of compassion. It sounds like, and empathy. Very nice to see. Okay, so the
Yeah.
last question is going to be the daily segment, and this is one that I ask every guest. What is one thing that you feel would make Sudbury greater?
What would make Sudbury greater? Um, I think we need to look after our homeless uh, issues that every city's facing, but that's something that affects, you know, downtown gets a lot of spotlight on that, but there, but the homelessness issue is everywhere. It's in the suburbs, it's in the parks, certainly downtown. Every street light that you stop at or drive by, there's some poor soul that is looking for some kind of assistance and help. So to make Sudbury greater, I think is having back to that empathy and compassion for our brothers and sisters that are having a difficult time. And there's not one solution that's going to solve this issue. It's compounded by everything around us. So I think we need to focus on looking after those that need the help the most. And I think as a community overall, we're going to be a greater community because of it.
Wow, yeah. I can't believe how fast that went. I could have easily doubled our interview time, but I try to keep them at 30, just, you
Yeah,
know.
no, you have to be consistent. We could always do a part two. You know, it could be
Yeah.
what is Murray doing his back? No, just joking.
Right on. Sudbury
Gardening,
interviews,
that's what it is.
everyone. And thanks for
Yeah.
coming on. That was so quick.
Well,
I blinked my eyes and it was done. And I got
Danny, it
a,
was a pleasure. you know a little bit about me,
Yeah.
and I guess everyone else will as well. And for better or for worse, um, but it was certainly a real pleasure, and I was I was very humble for you to ask to do the interview, and a little wisdom can go a long way. That's for sure.
Definitely. Thanks for your time tonight, Murray.
Thank you, Sarah. And always a pleasure. You have a great day.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, all the best. Bye bye.